This exhibition celebrates the golden age of the website, and what it tries to do that's maybe a little bit different, and particularly different from other archiving initiatives, is that it tries to bring back the website together with the technology it was built in and for. So it's not just about the website itself, it's about the hardware, it's about the operating system, it's about the browser, it's about the plugins, and it's about showing them in one environment together so people can really appreciate the websites and the environment that they are optimized for. Tim Berners-Lee invented the website in 1991, and here we are 20 years later, where I don't think we're very far away from being at a point where the website doesn't exist anymore. Websites are traditionally built around brands and their destinations people go to. But with the rise of the social web and the emergence of the app, I think increasingly we're going to be seeing websites, what was known as websites, online experiences, built around the individual rather than being around a brand. And that means in a very short period of time, we could easily see the website go from being non-existent to the most important form of brand communication to being non-existent again. And the guardians of this culture, the guardians of this recent history, are technologists, they're creatives, they're entrepreneurs, they're all forward-looking people. They're not people that are particularly interested in documenting the past. And I think this is kind of summed up perfectly by a conversation I had with Ajaz Ahmed of AKQA when I asked him if he wanted to be involved in the show. And he categorically said he didn't want to be involved in the show because AKQA are about celebrating the future. They weren't about being inspired by the past. So I thought that was very, very telling. The very first website, a website that's in the show, Tim Berners-Lee's site, which he called The Project, which was published in 1991, sums up perfectly the situation we're in. Because what we've done is we've found a NextCube, which was Tim Berners-Lee's computer from back in the day, and we've reunited it with the Nexus web browser. And of course, when Tim Berners-Lee created his first website, he also had to create the first web browser. And he called this web browser the World Wide Web, which we later renamed the Nexus browser when he realised the World Wide Web was actually just bigger than a browser. A browser was just something that allowed you to access the World Wide Web. But the website that's in the show is actually from 1992, not from 91, because the first website, the first web page that was published, there is no copy of. There are not even any screenshots. The earliest copy we've got is from 1992. That code and that monumental point in history has been lost forever. I think what's important to say, although we've got some absolute classic websites in this exhibition, and some of the websites that inspired me, like Anti-ROM's early series of experiments, the Blue Dot from the Razorfish guys, Word.com, the high-res stuff, PlayStation, Kirkin, all those great sites. They are in the show, but we're not trying to say this is the definitive collection of websites that need archiving. What we're trying to do is kind of raise the profile of archiving websites and get people to actually act and try and preserve their history while they still can, while they still can go into their lofts and into their garage and kind of drag this stuff off old laptops and old hard drives and CD-ROMs and tapes and restore it while people have still got the interest and the energy. And this show, of course, is not really about the websites themselves. It's actually more about the people behind the websites. And I think what's really interesting is the fact that most of these people are not computer scientists. They come from all different backgrounds. They're writers, they're sculptors, they're artists, they're gardeners, they're engineers, they're physicists. They're filmmakers. They come from a really broad range of backgrounds. One quote from Marisa Bow of Word.com that I love, she referred to her audience as underachieving subgeniuses. And actually I think that's very apt for the group of people who invented the web. But I would say they're far from underachieving subgeniuses. I would say they are geniuses, and they're geniuses that invented modern culture.